is. Heath Dunkel, the voice of Maryville College sports and Alcoa football, is in the house. And today we're going to talk some UT baseball and softball and any other Vol news. And we'll set the stage for the upcoming Go Tees Sports Page Awards program. We'll zero in on some Maryville High School tennis. We'll look back on the Maryville Christian Schools cheer year. And we'll throw some top national stories. And as always, we'll have a gripe with our letter rip commentary. We're happy you're here with us, so let's break the huddle and dive right in. Good morning to all of you, and we survived the earthquake, huh?
Man,
yeah.
we definitely did.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we're setting up here this morning, Heath, and by golly, it sounded like the roof was going to come in off. I don't think I've ever been around, a shaking like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was my first experience, and yeah, you turned to me, and it sounded like a train came over us, and I thought, well, maybe there's just a lot going on upstairs, but I couldn't imagine what it was to shake the building the way it did. I'm just glad it's still standing, and so are we.
Well, Donnie, when Brian shows up, that's what happens.
We have
earthquake
all kinds of things happen.
Most
of them good, but
well, I got to tell you, it reminded me of being in Central Florida for a shuttle launch. Our house would shake like that, the way that it did just now over in Maryville. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was. I don't think. Well, it's the first for the Go Tee Sports Page. I don't think we've ever come on with an earthquake, have we, Donnie?
Don't think so. We've sat through snowstorms and
there's
lots of things.
Always time for a new story.
Oh yeah.
Isn't it? Well,
sure.
I got a little letter rip this morning. I'm going to rip the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh, the Cavs are going to get the brunt of it today,
Tuesday night, this past Tuesday night, the Cavaliers blew a 20-point first-half lead and followed that up by blowing a 7-point lead with 49 seconds left on the clock in their game with the Indiana Pacers, and that game was played in Cleveland.
Yes, it was.
In the second half, the Cleveland crowd was chanting "overrated" to Tyrese Halliburton, and to add insult to injury, who hit the final shot for the Pacers? You got it.
Halliburton.
Tyrese Halliburton to put Indiana up 2-0 in the playoff series, 120-119. Halliburton hit a 3 to win it with 1.1 seconds remaining. That was like deja vu all over again because it wasn't about a week earlier. He did the same thing to Milwaukee in Indiana, hitting the last-second shot in their come-from-behind victory. It's second time in playoffs that the Indiana has come from behind in the last minute, down by 7 both times to Milwaukee and Cleveland. And since 1997 and 98 seasons, only 3 teams have achieved this feat in 1,640 attempts. Winning percentage, 0.18% that's going to happen. And 2 of the 3 are the Pacers this year in the playoffs. The other one was by the Oklahoma City Thunder. Well, anyway, it ain't over till it's over, right?
It certainly isn't. And talk about, too, you're looking at the Eastern Conference in the NBA, and it's gone so much differently than we expected. I mean, you expected Cavaliers take care of Pacers, the Celtics take care of the Knicks, and see those two meet in the Eastern Conference Finals, and right now it's totally different than that. The Knicks got 2 games up on the Celtics, and then you see the Pacers doing the same thing to the Cavaliers. It certainly was shocking to see the way they came back, but I believe after they yelled overrated, Tyrese Halliburton tweeted out after the game, overrate that.
Yeah. Well, they went back to Indianapolis last night, and Cleveland woke up 126-104 over the Pacers. They waxed them last night in Indianapolis, and that, Donnie, that's in spite of all the crowd wearing their Boom Baby T-shirts in honor of Bobby Leonard, Bobby Slick Leonard, who used to coach the Pacers back in the ABA days, and he was the radio broadcaster, and he came up with that deal. When somebody hit a 3, he'd yell out on the radio, "Boom, baby, boom," and that it just sort of stuck. But the Pacers have never won an NBA championship. Heath, they had several ABA titles, but never an NBA title.
Man, I'd really kind of love to see the 2 teams you didn't expect in the Eastern Conference Finals, a Pacers-Knicks Finals, Eastern Conference Finals. Bring out Reggie Miller, bring out Spike Lee, and let's watch all the animosity.
Interesting story about the Pacers. They just about, Brian, they just about didn't make it to the NBA. They were short of money. They were short of money, and they had the great tradition in the ABA, and Indianapolis didn't want to lose the team, so Bobby Slick Leonard and his wife decided to have a telethon, a 24-hour telethon, and that's how they raised the money to get the fee for the franchise to get in the NBA. And, Brian, I'm just thinking, boy, I would have liked to had some of that stock back there when they weren't worth a whole lot and hung on to it to today. We'd been in pretty good shape, huh, Brian?
Well, I thought you were meaning that maybe we should try a sports page telethon.
Yeah, we can do that. we can do that.
We could get you singing and dancing. And
yeah, well, I don't know about the singing part, but I might be able to dance a little bit, but maybe not too much. But anyway,
hardest part would just be staying up all night.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. At our age, with staying up all night's a real struggle. So, well, anyway, the Pacers still up 2-1, but by golly, if they'd won last night, they'd been in good shape to wrap that series up and move on. So, I don't know. Hey, the Vol baseball team, Heath, and I'm going to go with you on this one. They're in a real important series this weekend with Vanderbilt. And last night they beat Vanderbilt 3-2 to open that series, and there's a lot on the line this weekend in Knoxville with the baseball team, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you get down to the final few games of the regular season, and it's really just about kind of pole position as you get yourself ready for the SEC tournament. Tennessee right now sitting in the 5 spot in the SEC, a game behind Georgia at the moment. Tennessee 15-10, Georgia 15-9 in the SEC standings. So, yeah, this is a big weekend for them to just continue to try to get their groove in the right spot. And really, you think about it in basketball, you think about it in baseball, it's all about getting hot at the right time. So Tennessee can kind of string some things together, really end the regular season the right way, maybe continue to elevate themselves in the SEC standings and put themselves in a good position going into tournament play.
Yeah, and Donnie, they're coming into this weekend after losing 2 previous series. The last 2 weekends, lost 2 out of 3 to, I think, Auburn and who was it? LSU.
Yeah, LSU.
Down at LSU.
Yeah, right.
And I don't know, did they lose 2 out of 3 to Kentucky? I can't remember, but anyhow, they were struggling.
And who would have thought that too, with the way the Vols were trucking along earlier in the season? I mean, they looked almost invincible.
That's why baseball's crazy.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
crazy.
Yeah. Well, they beat Indiana State 12-1, in midweek, and so they got back on. But that was a big win last night against a good Vanderbilt team, and they still got some work to do because I think they got to go to Arkansas next weekend, and that's going to be a tough series for them down there. And I think right now, I think they're pretty good shape maybe to host. I think they're in the 9 category as far as the host deal for the NCAA tournament. But of course, you got some things on the line. You still got these series left this week and next week, and then you got the SEC tournament before you can think about the NCAA and seeding. So there's a ways to go before everything's going to be played out.
Well, and you talked about that Indiana State game before Vanderbilt. You've also got in between Vanderbilt and Arkansas a game on Tuesday against Belmont.
Yeah.
So another kind of game in between SEC play to continue to work on things. You can continue to keep that groove going. And then, that Arkansas series is the final series of the regular season before they get to the SEC tournament.
They're fighting for SEC seeding right now, and a very tough conference. How important is the seeding when you go into the SEC tournament, do you think, with so many ranked teams?
I mean, I think it can certainly be pivotal where you're placed depending on matchups. I mean, that's a lot of the things I even think about, with Maryville College when we got into the Maryville, the baseball seeding and how everything wrapped up, is it's really all about how you play against certain teams. So if there's a team maybe you don't play as well against, you kind of hope they're on the other side of the bracket, and maybe they're going to get knocked out before you play them. So I think Tennessee's trying to put themselves in a good spot here.
Yeah, well, Tony Vitalo, I guess, kind of fired him up a little bit. He got thrown out of a game here
sure did.
About a week ago, threw a chair, and I don't know what all, ran out on the field, and anyway.
Pretty soon he's going to be the Bobby Cox of the SEC. He's trying to get himself thrown out so many times.
Pretty fiery.
Yeah, my question is, what took you so long this year? Where you been on that deal? Lady Vol softball, golly, Donnie, they weren't in the tournament long, were they?
They sure weren't.
They were one and done with Arkansas, and now.
Well, that's the luck of the draw, I guess. I mean, if they'd have gotten to play Georgia instead of Arkansas, they might still be hanging around. But the best teams usually win. So.
And this is another extremely tough league with a lot of outstanding
very much
softball teams in it. Now, the question I have here, and both of you can jump in on this, is this going to be, or all of you can jump in on this, is this going to be good for this team, this rest, this mental rest? Is this what they need at this particular time? Karen Weekly thinks it's a good time, because of what they've been through in the SEC and as many tough games they've had throughout the year, schedule-wise, that it just might be a good time to refresh mentally and physically. What you guys take on it?
Well, it could be. She knows better than I do. She's more of the expert on softball. She's an expert on just about anything softball related around here.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it could be used to their advantage. Get some rest, get everybody healed up, the nicks and dings and bumps and bruises of the regular season. So let's hope so anyway.
Yeah. Well, if it were me, I'd rather be a playing.
Right.
I'd rather be
Well,
I'd rather be playing for
there's
an
some
SEC
merit to that too.
SEC championship rather than sitting around here
Yeah.
because you got a loss and you're going to be going into the tournament with a loss,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't know what's going to happen after that. But it looks like they're with their record and their ranking and so forth, they're going to have some home field advantage, I think, here. To start the NCAA tournament. You see it that way, Heath? I do.
Yeah, I do, and just talking about the team itself and being able to be there. I actually had my first experience going to a Lady Vol softball game about 2 weeks ago, and love the environment. I mean, they've got their own incredible fan base that's very loyal to that softball program,
Definitely.
and it was intense. I enjoyed it. I honestly hope that after they do all the upgrades to baseball, that maybe they put some investment in that softball field as well. I mean, Weekly has done a great job with that program for a long time. I mean, I think the hardest part with that program is growing up. I've known a lot of success in Tennessee softball. Just would love to see them be able to finish the deal, right? They always have really good seasons, but what's it going to take to close that deal? And you see Oklahoma has kind of figured something out. What can Tennessee do to kind of get themselves right there with them?
I agree.
Brian Brew McCoy's given up football over at UT for medical reasons. I'm wondering how much, he was in the draft. Was in the draft,
Right.
didn't get drafted. So I'm wondering how much of not being drafted entered into his decision, maybe not to pursue any of a free agency, so to speak.
Well, you see a lot of those guys. I've seen a lot of my alma mater guys going to the UFL and going to Canada, and I'm just wondering nowadays with all this stuff on CTE, how are they feeling about how much more punishment do they want to give their bodies for so little money at the end of the day? I mean, these guys are not Peyton Manning. They're not going to set up generational wealth catching the football and getting banged in the head every Sunday. So I mean, I have to think that just the education that these guys are getting now, the things that we're learning about the concussions and the long-term effects, I just think that's causing these guys to really think about this. I mean, we just had Jordan Travis, one of our best quarterbacks ever at Florida State, just decide to give it up.
Yeah.
And I know his was more related to his knee, but still, I mean, you just got to figure, do I want to walk? Am I interested in walking for the rest of my life? I mean, how important is walking? And so I just think that these guys are examining their bodies and making smart decisions for their families. Yeah, they'd love them to make some money, but I think they'd rather have them around.
Yeah. Donnie, I'm all beat up. You're all beat up. Looking back, I'd have probably taken my medical about the 6th grade back in the day.
Have you guys considered entering free agency?
Yeah.
Not yet.
I just settle for getting out of bed without any pain, huh?
Wow.
No kidding.
I'll add a little bit more to that story. From my understanding, this was a pre-draft decision. From what I've read, Brew McCoy actually told teams not to draft him. I think he had kind of already made the decision he was going to hang it up, and so I think it was just more of he kept it quiet until he was ready to post it. And it makes you wonder too in that final year where Brew came back, maybe how injured he really was, and appreciate him kind of, as we say, giving his all to Tennessee. But there must have been some stuff lingering and going on during that final season where he kind of had that thought, and then he finally ultimately made the decision right before the draft.
Sure.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned Peyton Manning a minute ago.
Brian did.
It's Brian. And I've been hearing some things about Mr. Manning that I want to see if anybody can confirm. Has he been hired by the or placed in a position of importance in the athletic department at the University of Tennessee? Because I've been hearing that.
Are they going to make him a GM in the world of NIL?
He is, according to an article that I looked at, and I have no idea whether it was fictitious totally or what, but it said he had been made the director of football operations. So
was it
like
on the internet?
Yes,
it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no.
Well, I tended to believe it.
But honestly, I don't see why every school has not made the decision to get a GM. I think Stanford made the right call to get Andrew Luck. I think they're going to have that. It is what it is now, and they need to have somebody in control of that. That's not the head football coach.
I mean, how about St. Bonaventure last year taking Adrian Wojnarowski away from ESPN?
Yes. Wow.
Yeah. Well, speaking of rosters in NIL, it came out last week that Texas football has a $40 million roster for the football program.
Goodness.
I think we've crossed the plains between amateur and pro sports, haven't we, Donnie?
We have. Yeah, it's too late to turn back now.
Yeah.
It's going to filter on down. It probably already is, even into high school sports.
I don't know what it's going to have on the effect on college football, but I see the schools with a lot of money, and Brian, you may see it different, but the more money you got, the better players you can get, the way I see it.
I'm anxious to see what Texas Tech does this year with all the money that they've spent. We've got some connections in our office there with Texas Tech, with Jeff Schoaf's son, and just hearing what's going on there, man, that's going to be the telltale sign of what can money do to a program that may have been a mid-tier type program. Are they going to be able to compete for a national title just by spending money? And I think the answer is going to be yes.
Well, and one of the things, though, that's going to be interesting over the next few years, if they don't get it in check, is what powerhouses start to get some booster fatigue, and do you see the NIL drop off? And then what teams maybe go, okay, we really want a championship team, but we're going to take all our donors, continue to build our funds, and pocket it for a couple years, and then we're going to make a run 1 year. Like, we're going to put it all in on this year to win a title, because we know if we spread it out, we won't win. But if we save it for 2027, 2028, we can make a run that season. Because, I mean, some teams can keep that going. You look at Penn State, Ohio State, some of those big-time programs probably can with all their alumni, but there's some that are going to have to potentially almost put it in a savings account, maybe invest it, and then use it on a certain year.
You're right.
And so what's that going to look like over the next few seasons, and will there be a change in NIL in the future? I mean, I think, if anything, there needs to be a cap to try to level out the playing field.
For sure. Salary cap has to come in at some point.
Yeah, well, speaking of money, Tennessee football has sold out in season tickets for the third straight year, Donnie.
They have. You're right.
I
tell you, they don't have any trouble selling tickets.
Can't afford gas or eggs, but we can afford those UT football tickets.
Season tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's priority.
Yeah. We mentioned a little bit this morning there, Heath, about Arkansas and their situation there with Nico, for them trying to, get back some of their NIL money with him leaving. What's your take on that?
Man, it's such an interesting situation because Madden Ayamaleva originally was committed to go to UCLA. And then on signing day flipped to Arkansas. And then with his older brother now going to UCLA, he changes again, now enters the portal during portal season, and is now going with his brother. So, yeah, the Arkansas AD has, I believe, come out and said they wanted to try to recoup some of the money that they used NIL-wise to try to get him. So they want their money back, basically. And they said if Arkansas is able to successfully get it, that it could lead to Tennessee following suit and doing it with Nico. I don't know if Tennessee actually will, but it said that Tennessee, it would open the door for Tennessee to make the move after Arkansas does.
What basis would they have to do this without a contract?
I mean, I don't know what kind of agreements they had, getting him over there, but that's another reason too why they've talked about, the transfer portal and when does it need to happen? How does it need to happen? Does it need to maybe just be once now instead of twice a year for these collegiate athletes? One mention was for at least the fall sports, maybe doing it in May. at one point and giving them a week, and then that being the only time they have the portal open. And so that way you're not dealing with every couple of months having to worry about them entering the portal again, paying someone more money, and trying to keep them.
Yeah. Well, we got Joey Aguilar coming in here from UCLA, and of course he transferred to UCLA from Appalachian State.
Happy, yeah, happy.
Did not play a game out there, and obviously they've paid him some money, so he's sort of in this same situation. That's what you call money without any play, so to speak. But I don't know. It's a strange situation with a lot of money being thrown around out there.
Sure is.
Hey, Brian, let's talk a little bit about what's coming up this week. With the Goatees Sports Page Awards program. Talk a little bit about where we're at on that and what our listeners need to know.
Man, it's going to be awesome. Robbie over at Heritage is giving us full access to the school there on Wednesday night, and we're hoping to pack the place out. And we're giving away more awards now than we ever have. We're adding Team of the Year, which is pretty exciting because our good friend and sponsor of the show, Boyd Sports, and Chris Allen over at the Smokies, has offered tickets to that team and a suite. They get to sip their Diet Pepsi with their pinky out in a suite watching the Smokies play.
That is a sweet deal.
That is a sweet deal, and we're very grateful for the Smokies and Randy Boyd and all those guys supporting Blount County sports.
Are they going to recognize them there at the game? I mean,
they
have
will.
Them on the field.
You better believe it. Probably even throw out the first pitch.
Yeah,
maybe
get
the coach throw out the first pitch. So we're excited to have that this year. I believe we're also adding Coach of the Year, which I don't think we've ever done that before.
I don't think we have.
For both a men's Coach of the Year and a women's sports Coach of the Year. Yeah. And as we did last year, we are bringing back the Small School Awards, which is going to bring into play so many more kids that were at these smaller schools like Clayton Bradley and Maryville Christian and Samuel Everett to try to compete. And we're excited about that. But, man, lots of great athletes, lots of great nominations. I'm excited about the fact that these athletic directors, they got their stuff in. They got it. They got their kids' information, and nobody waited around. It was fantastic.
They're learning.
They are learning. Yeah, I mean, because this is all about their kids. I'm not sure how many other places are recognizing their athletes the way that we are, and supporting their athletes the way that the sports page does. So I'm excited for that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to give away a lot of T-shirts. We're going to hopefully have some cheerleaders like we did last year. You guys missed out because you didn't get to see this.
I know. We get
so let me just paint
behind the scenes.
Yeah. So you guys are back there. We've got a great spot for you to interview the kids with this year. But yeah, we had cheerleaders last year that were whenever Brian Rice did we called it T-shirt time in Tennessee, and so Brian would stop the festivities. The band would play. The cheerleaders would come out and toss shirts into the crowd. So we're doing that again. But it should be a lot of fun. It's just $10 for the parents to come. All of the money that we collect for this goes straight into this show. Trying to get our production values up, adding cameras, adding things like these little boxes that we have to run the show, being able to stream on 3 platforms. All that stuff is just trying to make things better for the athletes.
Yeah. I think you mentioned his name, but talk a little bit about who's going to MC.
Brian Rice, the voice of the Lady Vols basketball team, and I guess softball. He's doing softball now
I think
too.
He is too.
We love Brian. I've known Brian a long time. He did a great job last year.
He sure did.
And he knows a lot about Blount County sports, so it's good having somebody like that in there. And so he'll be back again. Hopefully he'll be our consistent MC moving forward.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm going to switch back to you for a second, Donnie Moore.
All right.
This awards program was really started before Brian took over with it and really took it to a next level, so to speak.
Definitely.
But this idea was originally Charlie Palaio's idea.
It was
on the sports page, and we had it here for several years. Right here at
right upstairs here
right
at Blue
here
Tick.
at the Blue Tick Tavern, and you kind of emceed that program for, I don't know, was it 3 or 4 years?
4
anyway.
years, I think.
And then Brian took it up and just went from there and made it bigger and better. But Brian, our program was mainly for the athletic program type sports, and Brian, you have expanded that. Where did you come up with that idea, or why did you decide to do that?
Well, I just know that, for me, I know I wasn't the Greenfield Gunner, okay? I had very minor high school accolades, but I remember them. I remember being in the newspaper. Those things mattered to me as a 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kid. And so I feel like that what the sports page offers is just something that's unprecedented. We get the kids, we stream them. I mean, we do a lot of stuff with them with social media. We cover so many different sports. You guys have done such a great job bringing in, the lacrosse teams that maybe nobody talks about. Or today we've got a cheerleader, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just some of the programs that aren't basketball, football, and baseball. I mean, I think that's the biggest part. Giving these kids something that they'll take with them forever. I guarantee they won't forget being interviewed by you guys and being here on the radio and being on social media and streaming live. I think those are things that they carry with them. And I think that it also helps them understand if I work hard, good things come. And so I think that that's the biggest part for us. We want to leave something to the athletes.
Definitely.
Yeah. And Brian, talk a little bit about the cost, how people can get tickets.
Yes. So there is a QR code on our sports page, Facebook page, that you can scan. I think tickets for parents are $10. The athletes that are nominated are free. So they can go there, or they can pay $10 at the door. Robbie's got his ticket taken ladies that are going to be there running the show. And when the kids get there, we'll give them a lanyard, we'll give them a badge that says they're a nominee, and we'll get them seated, and we'll start the program.
Great. And will there be any refreshments or concessions or anything?
We are currently,
because this is not a banquet.
No, it's not a banquet. It's just an awards ceremony. Luckily, last year we had the guys at Bigfoot Popcorn out there giving out popcorn and bottles of water. I got to try to get those guys to do that again. They're busy dudes.
I bet they are.
And I happen to know because one of them is my son. They've hit the road to the beach this weekend. So it would have to be one of their brothers who picks up the mantle and takes it. And serves there. So we'll see.
Yep. And this is kind of a traveling an awards program because the first year you took over, we had it at Maryville College.
Right.
Last year we had it at William Blount.
WB.
Right.
And now we're at Heritage. And talk a little bit about the value of kind of spreading this around to the different schools. And they've been very cooperative with
They've been
handling.
great. I mean, Scott Cupp was the one that came to us and said, hey, let us host this. So and we could fit so many more people because we filled up Maryville College.
We did.
The parents really supported it, and that was great. But now we've got even more seats at William Blount, and then now more seats at Heritage. We're hoping next year we'll Josh will step up and maybe do it at Alcoa, or maybe we'll do it at Maryville. But we want to spread the love around, so each school can try to help us do this, and it's going to be. I think Robbie said that they can seat 1,500. So let's see if we can fill it up.
And this is not an easy decision, these picks, because we have so many outstanding athletes in this county and teams. I mean, we're one of the few counties in the state that produce state championships and send teams to state events year in and year out. And we have a lot of great athletes here. And by
Mike,
golly, Brian, it gets a little tough when you get down to picking some of these people, does it not?
It does. And Mike, we've even got national champions.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's lots of great athletes here in Blount County for sure.
Yeah. Well, Brian, thanks for filling us in on that.
Sure.
And we'll talk maybe a little bit later on in the show a little bit more about it. But that's coming up this Wednesday night.
Yeah, I want to say that we had probably discussed, and maybe I'm not sure if we did or not, but kind of announcing some of those nominations.
Yeah, we can do that.
Later in the show.
We can do that, yeah. Hey, we'll take a time out here, and when we return, the segment, Mark It Down segment, will be on tab. You're listening to the GOTee Sports Page, Blount County Sports Voice, and now stay tuned for the best in local sports.
For over 90 years, Anderson Lumber Company in Alcoa has proudly served and supported our local communities. Locally owned, so the money made here stays here. Whether you're renovating a kitchen, bath, new floors, doors, or windows, Anderson Lumber is so much more than a lumber store and can take care of you from design to install. We welcome you to visit Anderson Lumber in Alcoa for all your home's needs, or shop over 67,000 items online at AndersonLumberCompany.com. Anderson Lumber since 1925.
Aubrey's is known for real comfort, real food, real good. But remember, Aubrey's is also really into Blount County. Aubrey's Maryville has been a strong supporter of local schools and sports programs for more than 15 years. From baseball to football, dance teams, and marching bands, Aubrey's has helped schools and youth programs generate thousands of dollars. It's easy for us to do because it's the right thing to do. So the next time you're looking to choose a place to eat, we hope you'll choose Aubrey's. Real comfort, real food, real good. See what's on the menu at aubreysrestaurants.com.
Welcome back to the Goatees sports page. I'm Mike Edwards, and I'm here along with Donnie Moore and Brian Johnson and Heath Dunkel. We're going to go into some high school, talk a little bit of high school sports right here, Heath.
All right, let's go.
Anyway, in the spring here, we've got, by golly, we've got some championship squads, and it's already punched their tickets to move on in various tournaments. And we may not have all of them here, and Donnie Moore, you can chime in to help us out.
Yeah.
If you can think of any we don't have.
I got you.
I'll tell you what, it gets pretty hectic right here. But
it sure does.
The Lady Tornado softball team, what a year they're having, Heath. I mean, they're really having a great year down there, and they were the District 2A softball champions.
Yeah, Coach Bailey's done a phenomenal job with that program.
Yeah. The Heritage Lady Mountaineer softball team, they're District 5 3A champions. Another outstanding year for them. Donnie, we've had them on the show.
We have.
And they're moving on.
And they can play the game.
Yes,
That's
they can.
Sure.
They can.
They play Monday at 12:30 in the regional semifinal.
12:30.
12:30 in the regional semifinal on Monday.
School out Monday? It is for them.
I think it is for them. Yeah.
It is for the Lady Mountaineers.
That's one advantage. Don't have to go to school, huh? Keep playing on.
Yeah, it's fun to watch them. You know, not only being an alumni of Heritage, but you know, Coach Sherman. He was actually my football coach at Eagleton Middle School back when I played at Eagleton. And then his daughter Mackenzie, who does it with him. Mackenzie was teeny tiny back when I was in middle school. Coach Sherman, and I remember and watched her grow up, and she even helped us out a little bit at one point with Alcoa for a year or two, do some stuff over there. So it's been really cool watching her mature and the great things she's doing as a coach now, impacting those young women.
Yeah, Alcoa baseball, District 2A champions. So we got Alcoa baseball and Alcoa softball, both district champions.
And Alcoa baseball playing for the region championship today against Pigeon Forge.
Yep. Yeah. They beat North Green. They shut them out 10-0 last night. So.
Yeah, they're moving on.
Moving
on up. So hopefully we'll get some state teams right there. Maryville baseball, boy, District 4, they're AAA champions. Beat a good Farragut team.
They sure
to
did.
Win that championship, I believe, this past week. So they're still rolling.
And won their game against Powell 7-1 last night in the Region 2 4A semis.
So they're still cooking.
They sure are.
Still
cooking with gas.
Got a rematch against the Wildcats of Oak Ridge for the championship.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because Oak Ridge beat.
I want to mention also the Maryville soccer team. They had an outstanding year, and I believe they lost a heartbreaker to Bearden yesterday in that championship. I think it was 2-1, Donnie. In that deal, which was.
You're right. We've got a couple other baseball teams, Mike.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
That have moved on in the Region 2 Single A semifinal. Greenback shut out. Well, no, they didn't. They beat Oliver Springs 5-2. That was last night. So these are all updates from last night.
Yeah, I believe Greenback won that district down there.
I think they did.
And that's good for them because they've struggled a little bit in their sports program down there this year. You know, football, and they've been a little down, but that's good news on their baseball program.
It is. And in the Region 3 3A semifinal, Red Bank squeaked out a win over Heritage 5-4.
Oh boy. Oh boy! So
Heritage not going to be happy.
Heritage won the regular season district championship,
yes, they did.
And I think that's the first one they've won in quite some time. So they've had a special year.
Yes,
they certainly have had a special.
They sure have.
And then we talk a little bit about Maryville. Hopefully, we'll have them in here. Boys and girls tennis. They're at Maryville High School. They've had a good year. Down there. The boys were District 4 AA champions, and also, as of yesterday, they were also region champions. Region champions. So they will be moving on, and then the girls, they've got some double champions.
Lee and Kate Washburn.
Yeah, they'll be moving on also. So, daggum, it's been a pretty solid spring.
It sure has. I tell you, Blount County has showed up this year.
And I assume that track and field is also in progress right now of forming what's going on, because we're getting down toward the end. And I think a lot of these state championships, they go on even after school's out, don't they?
Some of them for a day or two, yeah. Especially after the seniors leave.
And that do they still call it the spring fling?
Mm-hmm.
They still call it, and is that down at Murfreesboro?
I believe it still is.
Still
yeah,
at
it is.
Murfreesboro?
Yeah, I don't think
But they
it's
moved the
anywhere.
football to Tennessee Tech. Is that
Yes.
correct? It's no longer at Murfreesboro, I don't think.
Or UTC.
High school football, yeah, it's
Yeah.
at UTC.
Yeah.
I know there's been talks off and on at.
It's at Chattanooga.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in Chattanooga.
Bigger stadium.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, well, and I'm glad they won the bid the last few seasons. It's
Me
been
too.
really nice playing
has.
there, and one thing I kind of hope, fingers crossed, is maybe down the road when that new Titan Stadium opens up, that maybe
That would be something.
they might make a bid to bring all the teams to Nashville.
Yeah. Well, Brian, let's get back on the program on Wednesday. Let's talk about some of the nominees. You got them there?
One of the things I wanted to mention was I want to say at last count we were going to have over 40 awards that we were going to
Goodness.
present. That's both big school and small school and volunteer of the year. The Chris Hauser volunteer of the year is kind of special to me.
It is.
The Hauser family's special to us, and so we're excited to give that away again. I know that Donna's already practicing her speech.
There you go.
Trying to get one. I think now going into her, I guess this will be her third year. I think that she's got it down now, so she'll be good to go. I was just trying to find a listing. Jenna over at Goatees, the social media girl, she's done a great job of getting all these nominees up, and I was just looking through what's on the Facebook page for the sports page, and we're going to have tennis here today. Is that right?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so just because we're doing that, I'm going to read off some of these tennis players. And guys, I think all these names are okay for me to pronounce, but maybe not. Okay, so the nominees for the boys teams from Alcoa is Colin Bueller. And then from Heritage High School, we've got Brock Johnson. From Maryville Christian School, Dawson Randolph. From Maryville High School, we've got, it looks like they've nominated a doubles team, Tate Stokes and Spencer Christian. And then Samuel Everett's got Joseph North, and William Blunt has Blaine Barber. And for the girls' side, we've got from Alcoa High School, Natalie Crisp. From Clayton Bradley, Lily Blanton. From Heritage, we've got Megan Whitelaw. From Maryville Christian School, we've got Izzy Randolph. From Maryville High School, we've got Leah and Kate Washburn. From Samuel Everett, we've got Lexi Wilson. And from William Blunt, we've got Reese Boring. So, just looking at that, tennis is not, football, baseball, basketball, but that's a lot of athletes.
It is.
And a lot of kids participating in these sports. And I'm not sure if there's lots of other things out there that are promoting some of these sports. So we're excited about that. Let me see who else we got here. She just posted volleyball. For Alcoa High School, there's Dylan Jablonski. From Clayton Bradley is Olivia Campbell. Eagleton Career Academy, we've got Peyton Barnes. And I just want to say, too, that having Peyton Barnes on there, having Eagleton be a part of this, it's great that we have that small school. I know that was one of the complaints. I'm not going to say complaints because everybody was so good. But just one of the things that some of the parents brought up, man, it would be nice if there was something for these smaller schools, just because the big schools dominated everything. So we're excited to have that in there. Heidi Lundquist from Greenback. And we know Greenback is not Blount County, but we consider them our own, so we include them in all of the stuff that we do here at the sports page. Savannah Anderson from Heritage High School. Maryville Christian's got Audrey English. That was Maryville Christian. Maryville High School's got Chenny McClellan. And Samuel Everett has Marley Woodruff. And William Blunt's got Samantha Klingon. So, that's just a few of the things we've got here. I mean, I could read these all day, guys. Here's
While you're looking right there, speaking of Greenback, there's a little bit of news about Greenback. Bill Satterfield is back.
Really? Football coach?
They've hired him as AD. He's the
AD.
athletics director at Greenback High School, new AD. Yeah, after a 40-plus years of on the sidelines coaching, he's going to bring his wealth of experience back to where it all started.
okay. So when does that start? Because we've been talking to somebody else as the AD there.
Is it Spafford?
Well, no, she gave us
She gives somebody else.
another name.
That starts next school year.
Yeah,
25,
next school year.
26.
Okay. Well, hey, let's bring up academics. These are student athletes,
Let's
right?
do.
Okay. Well, let's bring up the kids that were nominated, both boys and girls, for each high school for academics. Alcoa High School's got Mason Martin and Lily Bridges. Clayton Bradley's got Bentley Larson and Katia. Come on, Katia. Please don't. Bigalski. Come on, Katie. Hopefully that's right. Katia. Eagleton Career Academy's got Charlie Johnson and Hannah Wiggett. Greenback School's got Noah Graves and Carly Hammondtree. Heritage has Matthew Marsh and Isabella Hutzel. Maryville Christian School has Dawson Randolph and Lillian Myers. Maryville High School has Jack Matzik and Danica White. Samuel Everett's got Tyler Gilliland and Ireland, hopefully that's right, Easterling. And then William Blunt's got Randy Reed and Chloe Merriman.
On those tough names, Brian,
Yeah.
you just refer those over here to Donnie.
I know.
That's what I do.
I need to do that. Some of these are easy. I mean, it always reminds me a little bit of some of those skits where, the
Oh yeah.
comedians are trying to pronounce names. Well, let's go straight into golf. We've got boys golf. We got from Alcoa, we got Jack Smeltzer. From Clayton Bradley, Aaron Rodgers, not to be confused with the quarterback. Eagleton Career Academy's got Landon Pickle. Greenback's got Noah Isabel. Heritage has Alan Latham. Maryville High School has Jack O'Quinn, and William Blunt has Ty Goins. The girls have got, girls golf is special to our family. My wife having played professional and still being Florida State's only female national champion.
Woohoo.
The girls golf team has Aubrey Simmons from Clayton Bradley. Eagleton Career Academy has Lila Campbell. Heritage High School has Brooke Perry. Maryville has Riley Tucker. Samuel Everett has Lila Campbell. And William Blunt has Sophia Gambini.
The
What else?
defending state champ.
No, there you go. And then our nominees for cheerleading: Alcoa, Eva Blair. Clayton Bradley, Eva Marie Hicks. Eagleton, Lizette Ramos. Greenback, Harley Titlow. Heritage High School, Kaylee Carter. Maryville Christian, Sydney Cheney. Maryville High School, Taylor Holloway. Samuel Everett, Brooklyn Husky. And William Blunt, Olivia Webb. I know some of those names in there.
Yeah.
Yep. Had all those Webb girls.
Do we need to wrap it up, or can I throw fishing in there?
Go ahead. We got
All right,
one more. We
fishing.
got time for one
I mean-
more category here.
How many radio shows are promoting the fishing teams in Blount County? Are we the only one?
One?
Okay, there you go. All right, the nominees for fishing: Alcoa, Walker LaRue. Eagleton, Carson Holbert. Heritage, Camden Hutzel. And Samuel Everett, Harlan Nelson. And I hear, guys, that they're giving scholarships for fishing. I can't remember which
yeah.
schools it were that are taking it serious, but I think that, I want to say Carson Newman had a.
I think Walker LaRue's going to Carson Newman, if I
Okay.
remember
Well, there
correctly,
you
from
go.
Alcoa. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, do we need to go to break, or can I add a few more?
Let's go to break and then we'll come back and let you finish up.
Okay.
Okay, very good. It's time to turn the page, and next up is the Anderson Lumber Company Player of the Week segment. You're listening to the Goatee Sports page, and now stay tuned for the best in local sports.
The Roger L. Newman Company began in 1984 with a vision of providing Blount County with excellent heating and cooling service. Mr. Newman also wanted a real business. No gimmicks and no high-pressure sales. They just fix it or replace it. They want to stay within your budget and make you comfortable. Their motto still stands true today. Call us first, we'll be there. Call Roger L. Newman Company at 982-5446 or visit online at rogerlnewman.com. Cooler temperatures are approaching. Upgrade your furnace now for as little as $50 a month. For over 50 years and 3 generations, the people of Blount County have trusted Stevenson Tire with their vehicles and their families. Our mission has always been simple: to provide quality products at reasonable prices with exceptional customer service. Featuring tire products from Michelin, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, Bridgestone, Firestone, and Yokohama, Stevenson Tire also offers alignment and brake services at affordable prices. Stevenson Tire Company, 2411 East Broadway Avenue in Maryville. Call 983-1621 or online at stevensontire.net. For over 90 years, and
Yeah, I'm ready. Welcome back to the Blue Tick Tavern in downtown Maryville. This is Mike Edwards along with the rest of our broadcast crew. Now it's time for the Goatee Sports Page Player of the Week segment, sponsored by Anderson Lumber Company, where quality service is always a priority, proudly serving Blount County for over 100 years. And we've got Maryville tennis. And
all right, guys.
Coach Christian Burns is walking right through the door. I tell you what, perfect timing. Have a seat. Have a seat. Christian, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, we're doing real well. We've been talking a little bit about Maryville tennis here early this morning and previously, and congratulations to you and your boys team. They're district and region champions. Is that correct?
Well, we're on the double side. We are for sure the district champions, and yes, we just won as a team. We won the district champion and the region championship.
That's correct. That's very good. And the girls?
Girls finished second in the district.
Yeah.
16-3. Man, I tell you, it's been a magical year for our teams this year.
Yeah. You've had an outstanding program down there at Maryville High School through the years. How does this these boys and girls teams, how do they compare to some of the other ones you've had?
I tell you, this boys team is super, super special. This is the best boys team I've ever had in 11 years that I've been coaching at Maryville High.
Great, yeah. And as you move on down in the tournament or with your matches, what teams are standing in your way?
Well, we got to on Thursday. We got to go up to Johnson City and play Science Hill. I mean, that's probably the toughest test by far. I mean, we've been tested earlier in the season when we went to the Hendersonville Invitational and played against a very, very good Cookeville team.
Yeah.
As close as you can to each other and to him.
Spencer, Kristen, you're here this morning, and by golly, you're part of that boys tennis team. 17-1 record. Who got you? Yeah, who's the one lost to?
It was Cookeville down in Hendersonville. They were a really good team, and we played well that day. But at the end of the day, they were just better than us. But hopefully, we get another shot at them at state.
Yeah, in that 17 wins, which one would you say was the greatest win, the most rewarding one out of the 17?
Definitely the regular season in Farragut. Just not having beaten them in so long. And just the way we did it, it was really like great environment to do it in. So
you beat Bearden 5-3 this past week, claim the District 4 AA boys tennis team championship, as we have mentioned. Obviously, that was one of the goals of the team going in.
Yeah.
Bearden, what kind of year did they have? What kind of team were they?
They always have a pretty good year. They're a really good team, really deep team. They've got a lot of good players who play a lot of tournaments, and we're lucky to have a good enough team to beat them and to compete with these teams around Knoxville.
Coach, talk a little bit about the style of this boys team, as far as their play and so forth.
They love to get after it and attack, and it's just been fun to watch them develop as a group. Day in and day out, they come in and put their work in, and it's just fun to be around these boys.
Yeah.
Especially these three freshmen. I mean, we came in this season not knowing what to totally expect with these three freshmen. I knew we were going to be good, but man, it's been spectacular.
Yeah. Talk about the mixture. You mentioned freshmen. Is this a veteran type team, or is it kind of a mix?
It's a mix. I mean, we've got no seniors on this team on the boys' side, and it's just been a truly special group.
Yeah.
And the future's bright for this group. So.
Yeah.
There's no chance of them hitting the portal, is there?
I hope not. The day the NIL comes to high school athletics, oh my goodness, I hope that never happens.
Yeah. Leah Washburn and who else have I got? I got
Kate
Leah.
Washburn.
Kate, Kate.
Kate, are y'all sisters or? Oh,
twins.
Well,
we
get them a headphone on right there so I can talk to them a little bit. Yeah. There you go. There you go. I'm talking. I got Leah. I got Kate on here.
This is Leah.
Okay, Leah. You guys won the doubles, and it was kind of unique because you defeated another Maryville double team. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Explain how that was. I mean, how did that come about, and how awkward was that, or did you expect that, or how did it feel beating your own team?
Yeah, I mean, we saw at the beginning that our other Maryville girls were going to be on the other side of the bracket, so we always knew it was an option that could happen. We had after our semifinals, we got to play our semifinals the day before them, so we watched our girls play a Farragut team. We knew it was going to be a great match, and it was. They took it to 3 sets. It was pretty exciting, but ultimately our girls pulled it out, which was really awesome because we were all there to support them. And then we got to play them right after that, and we love our Maryville girls, so it was a lot of fun. But I think that's the best ideal if all of us are in the finals.
Yeah, Coach, that's a pretty good feeling to have two teams right there in the double. You're gonna come away with a win one way or the other.
One way or the other. Yeah.
So how do you coach that? If you got two teams
I just told them, girls, I'm gonna sit back and watch, and y'all have at it. And I will say that was probably the best doubles match from the girls' side out of both of our girls' teams that I've seen all year long. It was truly special to sit back and just watch that. I mean, the quality of the points was truly high level.
Yeah. Obviously, you don't need a scouting report, when you play your own team like that. Is that correct? I mean, you pretty well know how each other plays, right?
Yeah, I mean, we practice with them all day, every day, so it was definitely unique to play them.
Yeah. What's been the keys to your success, with your doubles this year?
I think just both of our playing styles. Like, we work really well together, and I think we both really want to win. We're really competitive people, so that gets everything really.
Yeah. And Coach, high expectations for the doubles. I mean, they're probably going to see each other again.
I would imagine we would see each other again in the final. We've got two pretty stout teams to face on Monday, is when we do the region individual, and both of our Maryville girls will be playing a pair of girls from West, and so West is pretty good, and so we know we have our work cut out for us, but our girls will rise to the challenge.
And tell our listeners where that will be.
That will be over at Tyson Park, starting at 4 o'clock.
Yeah. When it comes to play this year, have you seen West? Have you seen West?
So we were going to play. West isn't, obviously they're in the other district, and we were going to play them, but we had like 3 matches in a row that got rained out, and just trying to get our last district match in, we didn't get to make it up, so we haven't played West yet, so this will be definitely something different.
Okay, very good. If you could switch that back to Kristen, I'll talk to him a little bit there. Kristen, talk a little bit about where you're at, next level of competition, where it's going to be, when it's going to take place, maybe a little bit of scouting report on who you're going to be playing against.
So for region individuals, we'll be playing a team from West, right?
From West, yes.
Yeah, so both of the teams from West made it out of the other region. So we won the district, so we'll play the number 2 team from the other district, and we'll play them Monday, same time as them. And then for team, I think Thursday?
Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday
Traveling.
we go up to Science Hill and play them for the team in Sub-State.
Yeah. Coach, what does? Let's take this boys team, and you can break it down however you want to break it. But what do they do best?
Doubles is our strength. I mean, I really feel like, we play really strong doubles, and then we translate it into the singles. And 1 through 6 has been really tough this year. I mean, it's been fun to watch these boys go out and battle. I mean, I really feel like any one of these boys can take care of their job and take care of their court. And, to make a run, you've got to be deep 1 through 6 and trust the guys to go out there and take care of their court and win their match.
Yeah. Kristen, you got any pre-match routines?
No, I just go out there and play.
You just go out and play,
Yeah.
Just easy
Goes out
come,
in
easy
battles.
go,
Yeah,
and, loose as a goose. We'll go at it.
Yeah, I just warm up,
You know?
get ready, and go play. I'm not really a
Nice.
superstitious
No
guy.
superstitions, none of that. How about a favorite professional player?
Ben Shelton's my favorite professional
Yeah.
player.
And
That's a
who
good
on
one.
your team, are you the guy that keeps everybody loose, or are you more serious, or you got somebody?
I keep everybody loose. I usually, when we're playing, I play super high energy and, play high energy to keep everybody around me, energized.
Yeah. I always ask the golfers this, so I'm going to ask the tennis people this too. You ever feel like throwing a racket? Huh?
Yeah,
I mean,
I feel
you ever
like it
had that
sometimes.
urge to throw a racket?
Yeah, I feel like it sometimes.
Yeah. What about a call? You ever argue a call?
Oh, yeah.
It happens.
Happens all the time.
We had a couple of those
What-
in the
yeah.
the district match.
Yeah.
Do you ever use
region.
old John McEnroe tape to train them on how to appropriately
Yeah.
address an umpire?
Well, the unique
I need
thing
to talk to
about
her.
high school tennis, there are no officials.
That's-
So it's
that's the
all
other-
honor
The
system.
other twin,
Oh
Kate.
my goodness!
And so, yeah, I mean, it's you're trusting the kids to go out there. Now, as coaches, we have to come out and maybe both go out on the court and be the appeal line judge kind of thing. We had that happen in one of our district matches. It happens
Yeah.
from time to time.
Yeah. Kristen, pass that over to Kate. I don't want to leave her out here
Yeah.
this morning. Huh?
We got to get Kate on the air.
Kate, how are you doing this morning?
Good.
All right. Let's talk to you a little bit. What's been your highlight so far this year?
Winning. Probably.
Winning. Yeah. Well, it's always fun to win, isn't it?
Can't argue with that.
Can't argue with that. Let me ask you this: when you go to play somewhere else, is there any difference in courts? I mean, if you play basketball, sometimes the courts are a little different. Atmosphere's a little bit. Football, same thing with the atmosphere of the stadium. So, what about tennis? Is there any difference if you go from one court to another to play?
I think home matches are really we get so hyped and so excited, and then when we play away, we're still hyped, but definitely not as much as when we're at home. So
Yeah. What about composure? How do you keep your composure out there? Is it hard or not? It'd be hard for me. I'd go through several rackets. There's no doubt about that. But
it's definitely hard, but we have each other, so we kind of help each other calm down or help each other get over it, which is
Yeah.
definitely hard sometimes.
coaches, as you move on into play here, what do your squads need to improve on? What are you looking on? What are you talking to them about? Get
Well,
where you
as
wanna
far as the going through the doubles, just getting them looking for that open court opportunities and getting those put away opportunities. Just staying in the match, staying mentally focused, and so our kids do a great job of that, and we're just looking forward to getting into Monday, competing for region doubles titles, and getting into Thursday and seeing these boys, see if they can get something that's never been done for get to state.
Yeah. What programs statewide are excellent in tennis?
Oh, you got to look at Collierville, Cookeville. They're good. Upper East Tennessee, Science Hill, who we're going to play, they're good. I mean, it's just and I took the kids to the Hendersonville Invitational. That's where we saw Cookeville and even Hendersonville. It's getting outside of our bubble and seeing what's across the state competition-wise was good for us.
Yeah.
You said you were facing going up to Science Hill to play. I sure hope they don't play tennis in that Quonset hut.
Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah.
It'd be 120 degrees.
Here's
in
the
there.
thing. I know they have 14 courts up there, and
Good.
they are an outstanding program. So they're well coached, and so we know we got our work cut out for us.
Great. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good. I just wanted to throw a couple questions out there. So, Coach, a couple for you real quick. But at this point in the season, when you really don't have a ton of turnaround time, if you will, just kind of moving from each tournament, how much is it that you focus on maybe – you probably don't really have a lot of time to tweak things you want to get better at when it comes to maybe weaknesses of the game, but how much of the focus is more on just how do we continue to improve our strengths of the game to help us succeed?
I mean, you get to this time of the year, there's not much time to actually go out and have a practice time. And it's especially this past week, it's been a whirlwind. We've had, Sunday we had the girls' district final. You go right into Monday, Tuesday playing in the district individuals, and then we got to play team on Wednesday and Thursday, and so it's been a long week for our kids, but get to this point of the year, we're pretty much where we need to be in terms of improvements.
Yeah, there's so many layers to tennis when it comes to all the different things you guys have got to go through.
Between the team tournament and the individual tournament, and even our parents are trying to figure out, okay, what are we doing next? What's the next thing we got to on our agenda we got to accomplish and go do? So.
And for you as a coach, how much is there in-game coaching versus pre-game coaching? Because you think about different sports, there's kind of some differences in that. So where you in tennis, and then you've got different things going on at different times. How much of the in-game coaching is there versus just like, hey, I've prepared them, and now I'm just going to continue to go around and keep an eye out?
It's just looking at as they play and seeing what weaknesses there are in the opponents that we play, and then catching them on the changeovers. And then, during the match, we can actually say things from the fence, and you just can't pull them over. But during the changeovers, we can certainly break it down a little bit more. I love that they practice together, and the bond that this group of kids have is truly unique, like I've never seen before. The girls are showing up for the guys' matches. The guys are showing up for the girls' matches, and
when you have a program, that's reached the level that you guys have reached on the boys and girls side, that practice gets you better because of that competition, don't you? You get a pretty good read as a coach what kind of team you got, don't you? Huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, listen, we appreciate y'all coming in this morning and visiting with us, and we want to wish you the best of luck as you go on down the road here, and we'll be following you, and hope you can bring a state championship.
Hopefully
back
so.
To Maryville, Maryville High
we
School.
got one more hurdle to cross, get past Science Hill, and do something that we've never done as a program before to get to state.
And there's nothing better than winning a state championship and being out of school at the same time.
Yes,
right?
sir. That's right.
There's nothing that's going to compare to that with summer looking at you right in the face, huh? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, good luck to all of you, and appreciate you all
Thank
coming
you for having us
in.
on the show this morning.
Yeah. Hey,
yeah, you are now. Go ahead.
Mike,
Go ahead.
there is one thing. There is one thing better.
What's that?
Being nominated for the Goatee Sports Awards. This whole set here.
Yeah. All right.
Did you ever think that you would be nominated for the Goatee Sports Awards ever in your life?
I'm going to be honest. Well, 3 years ago, no, but maybe this year I thought about it.
All right. All right. Now, are you guys going to be there Wednesday night?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, all right. Good deal. We hope to see you.
All right. Good enough. Hey, time for a break. When we return, it's the Boyd Sports Spotlight segment. You're listening to the Goatee Sports page, and now stay tuned for the best in local sports.
Lumber Company in Alcoa has proudly served and supported our local communities. Locally owned, so the money made here stays here. Whether you're renovating a kitchen, bath, new floors, doors, or windows, Anderson Lumber is so much more than a lumber store and can take care of you from design to install. We welcome you to visit Anderson Lumber in Alcoa for all your home's needs, or shop over 67,000 items online at AndersonLumberCompany.com. Anderson Lumber since 1925. Aubrey's is known for real comfort, real food, real good. But remember, Aubrey's is also really into Blount County. Aubrey's Maryville has been a strong supporter of local schools and sports programs for more than 15 years. From baseball to football, dance teams, and marching bands, Aubrey's has helped schools and youth programs generate thousands of dollars. It's easy for us to do because it's the right thing to do. So the next time you're looking to choose a place to eat, we hope you'll choose Aubrey's. Real comfort, real food, real good. See what's on the menu at aubreysrestaurants.com.
Welcome back to the Blue Tick Tavern in downtown Maryville. This is Mike Edwards, and it's time for the Boyd Sports Spotlight segment. I'm here with Sports Page veteran Donnie Moore and Heath Dunkel, the voice of Maryville College Sports, and Brian Johnston of Goatees. And let's talk a little bit about some sports stories that's gone around this weekend, Donnie. And
sounds good.
Which one? I'm going to start off with Alex Palou, who won the IndyCar race at Barber Motorsports last week. It's his third win in 4 races.
I'm telling you.
He's moving on.
He's hot.
He's moving on, and I'll tell you how hot he is. He's on the pole for today's race in Indianapolis.
Yes, he is.
On the road course. And the big surprise up there, no surprise with Alex Palou, but a big surprise with Graham Rahal, who's going to be starting second today.
Yeah.
And usually he's not a very good qualifier, but by golly, he surprised everybody yesterday, and he's sitting on the front row. That race can be seen today at 4:30 on Fox. NASCAR there at Kansas Speedway tomorrow at 3 o'clock on FS1. And Heath, the winner of the Kentucky Derby, Sovereignty, will not run in the Preakness. So being a traditionalist, I'm a little disappointed that there's not going to be any chance of a Triple Crown winner this year.
Crown winner.
Yeah, they're going to run at they're going to miss the next one and then run at the Belmont. Is that correct?
I think that's right.
That's correct.
Yeah, but I'm with you. I wanted to see a Triple Crown as well.
Yeah, it's been, well, the last Triple Crown was Justify in 2018, and I don't know, the trainers are kind of getting away. Is it time, I guess this is a question, is it time for horse racing to move those races to a greater span? You know, you got the Derby, and then you only got 2 weeks to get ready for the Preakness, and the Belmont's right around the corner. Do they need to space those races further apart? Because it seems to me like it's a disadvantage for the winner of the Kentucky Derby to go to the Preakness and see horses that didn't run in the Derby.
Yeah.
That they just were training to run in the Preakness, and then the same in the Belmonts. So they're running against fresh horses there. I don't know. What do y'all think about that? I mean, you know, change the dates and so forth.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, you've got all of late spring, all of summer, and quite a bit of fall to have decent weather to spread these races out a little bit, and you know, get them a little bit better prepared to hit that track.
Because the thing is, too, you think about like this first race for the horses that didn't win. You know, are they going to push them to the limit and try to get them into the next race, or are they going to sit them out now and hold them out to try to see if they can have a better chance at the Belmont? But I don't know if you said this, but another interesting stat about that Kentucky Derby was that every horse was a descendant of Secretariat, right? Which is a pretty wild stat.
They got $14.3 million, and I guess after its run this year, they got $14.3 million, and I guess after its year, they're going to update it. It's quite antiquated, so to speak.
You're right.
They will be running at Laurel Place next year, which is still around the Baltimore area. But that's two.
Until the construction's done.
You know, the Belmont was being worked on too. They've moved that race out of where they normally race.
I think you're right.
They're going to have some nice facilities here and updated facilities here in the coming years. Academics is back in the college scene. Unbelievable. College academics are in the news. Akron can't play in a 2025 bowl over an academic issue. Believe it or not, their academic progress is too low. They had a score of 914, and it's below the 930 minimum. How about that? I thought academics wasn't even on the table anymore, huh? Explain that to me.
When you said academics were back in the picture, I was looking for a highlight, not something sad like that. Yeah, well, and that's what happens sometimes when you put more focus on getting the athletes versus the full package.
Yeah.
How many times in the course of this show, back in the day, did we hear about academic fraud?
Yeah.
That was one of the hot topics back when Bob Gilbert still had the show, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, who was it? Jerry Tarkanian used to say, and I'll use Akron as an example. He probably used somebody else. Said the NCAA hammered down Akron and put them on lifetime suspension or whatever to get back at Kentucky or somebody. Didn't want to fool with them, so they took it out on somebody else.
Yeah.
So I looked at that the other day and I thought, oh gosh, there's one of them deals where they're hitting somebody small here to make an example out of them. But anyway, hey, Florida basketball coach Todd Golden has signed a 6-year, $40.5 million deal, and he's going to be one of the 5 highest paid coaches in college basketball. He's in his 3rd season. He got an SEC tournament win this year and a national championship and more money. And Donnie really, I don't know if you call this a rags to riches story or he's lucky to be coaching, but he had some pretty hefty allegations against him before this season started. He had a Title IX investigation early in 2024 and 25. The investigation centered around allegations that it involved sexual harassment, sexual exploitation, stalking, and cyber stalking from multiple women, including students, but it all went away. So
it did. You're right.
Anyway, to go from that to a national championship and $40.5 million, Heath, that's quite a turnaround.
Safe to say it paid off, pun intended.
That is kind of a turnaround, no doubt about it. Atlantic Coast Conference will trade 2 conference games for 2 marquee non-conference games next year in basketball to hopefully get them some NCAA bids. I think it's a good idea. I'd rather see more quality teams on one schedule than some of these other, lower tier teams, or fillers, so to speak, to up your win percentage. So I think it's a good move by them.
Yeah, I'm always ready to see a good basketball game.
Yeah, and they're, the ACC, Heath, at one time they were the king in basketball. They were a country. That league, but not so much now. You got the SEC, you got the Big 10, you got the Big 12. I would say that the ACC is 4 and the Big East is probably 5 out of your major conferences. So
that was one of the things they were talking about in basketball with Duke this year. Is Duke had such a good season, but they were really like, who did they play?
Right.
Yeah, the ACC just wasn't as strong.
Yeah. Tom Brady tells Shadur Sanders to use his low draft choice as a motivation. Well, that coming from pretty good advice. What was Brady, 199th in the draft?
Yeah, he was way down the list.
Yeah, so there's hope there for him anyway. I got some on this day in sports. This is May the 10th, 1913. The New York Yankees commit 8 errors and still beat the Detroit Tigers 10-9 in 10 innings. That's like find a way to make mistakes to get to where you're going. 8 errors.
That's winning in spite of yourself.
Yeah,
there.
Absolutely.
1967, Hank Aaron hits his only inside the park home run off of Phillies' Jim Bunning in Philadelphia.
Jim Bunning.
Yeah.
I heard that name in a while.
Yeah. All the home runs Hank Aaron hit, and he only hit 1 inside the park. That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he wasn't known for his speed.
Well, I know. Yeah. 1970 Stanley Cup Final, in Boston Garden. Bobby Orr scores the famous overtime winner as Boston beats the St. Louis Blues 4-3 for a 4-0 series sweep. The Bruins win their first title since 1941. 1941. And, Boston, they were one of those teams that, they were famous for their hockey, with Bobby Orr for I don't know how long, but, not many championships up until then. 1974, 7th ABA championship. The New York Nets beat the Utah Stars 4-1. 4-1. I don't know a lot of players on those teams, but Utah Stars. I think you remember Zelmo Beatty?
I do, yeah.
I think he played for the Stars. I don't know whether Dr. J was on that Nets team or not.
I don't know either.
Yeah, well,
ABA was fun to watch, though.
Yeah, they were.
If nothing else, they were fun to watch.
There were never a dull moment. Never a dull moment in the ABA, and a lot of outlaws. Kind of a renegade league. But they sure proved their point because the NBA couldn't get them to go away. The NBA, they're dominant. They wanted to be dominant.
Had to absorb them.
And there was the ABA. They were holding their own, boy. and finally they absorbed the better teams, or the ones that could come up with the money to pay the fee to get in. 1993, Bill Walton is inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. 1997, the Chicago Cubs turned baseball's 68th triple play against the San Francisco Giants. Were you on any teams, Donnie, that had triple plays?
I was involved in one in
triple play.
my career,
Yeah.
But that's all.
How about you, Heath?
Never been a part of one.
Never been a part of one, broadcast playing or anything. I don't think I have either. Never have either. 2002, the Anaheim Angels crushed the Chicago White Sox 19-0. The Angels joined the 1923 Cleveland Indians, the 1939 Yankees, and the 1950 Boston Red Sox as the only teams to beat two opponents by 19 or more runs in the same season. 19-0. Well, I'll tell you what, that game would have been long.
Sure would.
Hey, I saw a score there the other night. The Cubs and the Giants were tied up in Wrigley Field 5 apiece in extra innings. It was in the 11th inning, and I went back and looked at that score, and it was 14-5. That means the Giants got 9 runs in the top of the 11th inning.
Good grief!
That was a long inning for Chicago.
No doubt.
They won it 14-5.
And also, Pope Leo XIV is a White Sox fan.
Yeah.
Villanova posted a graphic the other day that said the only college to have a national champion and a pope.
Well, the Chicago White Sox need some divine help.
They do. They most definitely need some help.
2023, the Boston Red Sox reliever Kenley Jansen becomes the 7th Major League Baseball pitcher to earn 400 career saves in a 5-2 victory over the Braves in Atlanta. Birthdays, Pat Summerall. Who can forget Pat Summerall?
Great sportscaster.
Yeah, especially with John Madden teamed up with him in those Thanksgiving Day games for years and years. He was also an outstanding NFL player, with the New York Giants. I think a lot of people don't know that. They just think of him as a sportscaster. He lived from 1930 to 2013. Jim Hickman, who lived from 1937 to 2016, Major League Baseball All-Star. He was with the Chicago Cubs that year in 1970. He was also the first New York Met to hit for the cycle. And he was born in Hennings, Tennessee. Anybody know where Hennings, Tennessee is at? Henning. Henning.
I don't know. I'll find out.
Yeah. Hey, Jim Calhoun, born in 1942, College Basketball Hall of Famer, NCAA Men's National Championship. Boy, he won it in 99, 2004, and 2011 in UConn. When you think of UConn, Heath, you think of all the great women's teams they had there, but don't forget about Jim Calhoun, what he did there at Connecticut.
He had some good teams as well when you think about him and then what he did with Kemba Walker and some of those squads. He had some really good teams.
Chris Berman with ESPN, Donnie. You remember Chris?
I do.
1955, born in 1955. And what is it? Back.
Yes.
Chris Berman. Yeah. Helio Castroneves, born on this date in 1975.
Wow.
4-time Indianapolis 500 winner, and he's up there again this year, and he's looking for number 5. He's looking for number 5, and Joseph Newgarden of Tennessee is looking for number 3 at Indianapolis. So a lot of excitement up there, and Donnie, you met Helio right down.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, we
sure did.
We held him hostage so we could get a picture down there.
That's it.
Yeah. Deaths on this date in 1963. Gene Big Daddy Lipscomb, American NFL football defensive lineman, played for the Baltimore Colts from 1953 to 1962, and he was a professional wrestler. Died at the age of 31. You remember Big Daddy Lipscomb?
I do.
Yeah.
Yep, sure do. Know that name.
Who was it? They used to play a college all-star game, in Chicago every year. Best of the college all-star football in August would play the world champion NFL team. And I think this happened back when Tommy Novus, remember Tommy Novus who played at Texas? He was lined up across from Big Daddy Lipscomb. And he said on the first play, he said he got hurt. He says, I'm hurt bad. And he kept falling kept falling, going off of the field, and he got to the sidelines, and he told the coach, he says, man, I think I'm blind, and said, I think there's something else wrong with me. And the coach says, well, I'll tell you what, said, you're tripping over your broken arm. Your arm's dragging the field, and you're tripping over that, and you're looking out of your ear hole of your helmet. That's what Big Daddy did to him on the first play.
Wow.
Big Daddy did that to him on the first play. 1967, Lorenzo Bandini, Italian auto racer. He dies after a race accident in Monaco, a Formula One race at 31. He won the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1963 and the 24 Hours of Daytona in 1967. And that year, Donnie, in 1967, he was scheduled to run at Indianapolis. He had practiced, and he had gone to run at Monaco, and then he was going to fly back to Indianapolis to be in the Indianapolis 500, and he perished in that auto wreck in Monaco. And you know what they used for barriers back in those days?
Water.
Hay bales.
Hay bales.
Hay bales. And he hit a hay bale where they had the hay bales lined around the Monaco street course.
Yeah.
And his fuel tank burst and caught those hay bales on fire, and they couldn't get him out of the car.
Hey, by the way, I looked up where Henning, Tennessee is.
Yeah.
It is in Lauderdale County, which means that if you go west from Lauderdale County, you hit the Mississippi River.
Okay.
So it's far west Tennessee.
All right.
Population 871.
All right. I've got 2012, Carroll Shelby passed away, auto racer who won Le Mans in 1959, and gosh, they made a movie about.
Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, great movie.
Great movie.
Yeah, it's great movie.
Outstanding.
And he had the Ford Shelby Mustang, the Shelby GT, and the Dodge Shelby Charger, and the Dodge Viper, and the Shelby Cobra, all of those. And he had heart problems and made it all the way to the age of 89. That's why he had to quit racing, was he had heart problems. And he never brought a car to Indianapolis. I'm wrong. He did bring a car. He brought a Shelby Turbine.
Really?
To Indianapolis, and he couldn't get it up fast enough to qualify.
Yeah.
But what a famous name he is in auto racing. 2022, Bob Lanier, American Basketball Hall of Fame center. 8-time NBA All-Star and NBA All-Star Game MVP in '74. Played with the Detroit Pistons and the Milwaukee Bucks.
And had the distinction of having the NBA's largest tennis shoes.
Yeah.
Size 22s.
I was going to mention that, yeah. And what size shirt would he wear, Brian?
Boy.
I don't know, probably a 3XLT. That would be my guess.
You could have fixed him up, though, couldn't you?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's all I got.
Well, let's take a break.
Time to take a break. All right. Hey, it's time to break. When we'll be back to close out today's show. You're listening to the Goatee Sports Page, and now stay tuned for the best in local sports.
The Roger L. Newman Company began in 1984 with a vision of providing Blount County with excellent heating and cooling service. Mr. Newman also wanted a real business. No gimmicks and no high-pressure sales. They just fix it or replace it. They want to stay within your budget and make you comfortable. Their motto still stands true today. Call us first, we'll be there. Call Roger L. Newman Company at 982-5446 or visit online at rogerlnewman.com. Cooler temperatures are approaching. Upgrade your furnace now for as little as $50 a month. For over 50 years and 3 generations, the people of Blount County have trusted Stevenson Tire with their vehicles and their families. Our mission has always been simple: to provide quality products at reasonable prices with exceptional customer service. Featuring tire products from Michelin, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, Bridgestone, Firestone, and Yokohama, Stevenson Tire also offers alignment and brake services at affordable prices. Stevenson Tire Company, 2411 East Broadway Avenue in Maryville. Call 983-1621 or online at stevensontire.net.
Welcome back to the Blue Tick Tavern in downtown Maryville. This is Mike Edwards, the Greenfield Gunner, and I'm here with longtime Sports Page veteran Donnie Moore and Heath Dunkel from Maryville College Sports Radio, and Brian Johnson from Goatees. And Heath, you've got a couple of trivia questions for some listeners out there, see how they do, huh?
Yeah, I've got some trivia for you. Usually during Maryville College Baseball, one of the things Dad and I like to do is we will usually pick a trivia question or two and just kind of throw it out in the middle of the game, and something for us to kind of talk about, and nice little filler during some good baseball. So first Major League Baseball trivia question for you guys. Who are the only two players in Major League Baseball history to win a league MVP, a World Series MVP, and an All-Star Game MVP?
Good grief. That's some accolades, isn't it?
And I'll give you a hint. They both have the same last name.
Joe Carter and Gary Carter.
No.
That's a good guess, though, right?
Yeah, it was a good guess. You found two.
Are they recent?
No.
They go back. I don't know.
What era?
Oh, gosh. I don't remember the exact years. I want to say like 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
I give up.
Donnie, you want to take a stab or no?
Let's see. I'm going to guess. Can you remember the brother's last name? One that married Marilyn Monroe.
Joe DiMaggio.
Yeah, the DiMaggio brothers. No?
Brooks Robinson and Frank Robinson.
Brooks and Frank.
There you
That
go.
would've been him.
They both played for the Orioles as
They
well.
did. You're right.
All right, and then one more for you. Who holds the record for most career World Series home runs?
Most career World Series home runs.
This one goes back as well.
Well, let's see.
Reggie Jackson.
No.
Mickey Mantle.
Yes. Mickey Mantle.
Good guess.
Look at
Good
him.
job.
18 home runs in the 12 fall classics he was in. In second place, Babe Ruth with 15. Mantle also holds the records for most runs with 42, most RBIs with 40, and total bases with 123.
Yeah. Well, he was in a few World Series.
just
that
sure
just a
was.
few, just a dozen.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I think in that
just one.
60 World Series they played the Reds, or was it the Pirates? I can't remember.
Oh no.
I'm not positive.
Well, he was
One
hurt.
heck of a ball player.
He was hurt
Yeah,
in that series with the Reds, so there's no telling where he would have been if he
that's
hadn't.
true.
You
Had
know,
he been healthy.
with
yeah.
that Sun Park or that those Sun bleachers in Crosley Field out there in right field. There's no telling where he would have been, but yeah, very good.
Well, there's your fun trivia for you.
All right, well, okay, Brian. Let's go back to the awards.
All right. Let's see here. I have bowling up next. The nominees for bowling from Alcoa are Thatcher Bradburn. Heritage High School has Gavin Wolf. Maryville has Jack Taylor. Samuel Everett has Gavin Eagle. And William Blunt has Jackson Joins. That's kind of an all-name team there.
Nice.
Gavin Eagle. I mean, that's either going to be a...
It's a good name.
Yeah, it's a good name. All right, the girls are Caitlin Russell from Heritage, Riley Tucker from Maryville, Evie Menken from Samuel Everett, and Haley Dunmoyer from William Blunt. That was bowling. And then after bowling, we've got dance. Only 2 nominees. So these girls may be like, we may have to have them do like a dance-off, like Michael Jackson style on stage to see who wins. But the 2 nominees for dance, Maryville High School, Ada Monroe, and William Blunt, Carly Price. I do like the idea of a dance-off. I think that brings, and I think we should do it to something like Beat It. You know, just something that's got that, you know, see if they could do that. Okay. Now we get some of the heavy hitters here. Football. And these are always controversial here. Okay, our football, Alcoa High School has Eli Graff. Eagleton Career has Tyson Click. Greenback has Gavin Payne. Heritage has Cole McCampbell. Maryville has Price Davis. Samuel Everett has Colton Relation, and William Blunt has Luke Watkins.
Nice.
Yep.
Some good names there.
Yep.
Good athletes.
And here we go with basketball. I think this one has probably our most nominees. Every school participated in this. We've got, for the boys, from Alcoa High School, we've got Jameer Dean. From Clayton Bradley, we've got Brandon Hager. from Eagleton Career, we've got Austin Gredig. Greenback has J.J. Cottle. Heritage has Eli Williams. Maryville Christian has Isaac Fritz. Maryville High School has Braden Hazelbaker. Samuel Everett has Nate Clemmer. And William Blunt has Jack Freeman. That's our boys basketball. Now to our women's basketball, girls basketball. Alcoa has Bella Doherty. Clayton Bradley has Mia Atkins. Eagleton has Natalie Merrill. Greenback has Elizabeth Davis. Heritage High School has Carson Swaney. Maryville Christian School has Cabry Patterson. Maryville High School has Zoe Harrison. And William Blunt has Savannah Darnell. Yep.
Tough choice.
They are. That's going to be a tough one. All right, we're going to go to wrestling. Wrestling for boys, we've got Darius Sutterth from Alcoa, Logan Camp from Eagleton, Nico Inman from Greenback, Tristan Fowler from Heritage, Brady Lewis from Maryville, Tyson Click from Samuel Everett, and Toby Chris from William Blunt. And for the girls, we've got four high schools participating in girls wrestling this year. I think that's up one, I think, from last year, if I remember
you're right.
correctly. We've got from Greenback, Natalie Russell. From Heritage, Trinity Roberts. From Maryville, Hannah Parrish. And from William Blunt, Mackenzie Rogers. All
Good
right.
deal.
We got another big boy here, our baseball and softball nominations. I'm sure these are hard for these ADs because lots of great baseball players and softball players here in Blount County. Alcoa's got Parker Davis. Eagleton's got Willard King. Greenback's got Noah Graves. Heritage has Gavin French. Maryville Christian has Noah Sealer. Maryville High School has Kane Baber. Samuel Everett has Jack Kidd. And William Blunt has Cole Hendrickson. And I think the last posting that we have here, or this was the first posting that Jenna put up for us, but I think this is the last one that I would be reading today. I think I've gotten everybody else, is girls softball here. We've got Alcoa High School with Hallie Bailey. Eagleton has Kyla Long. Greenback has Carly Hammondtree. Heritage has Caitlin Russell. Maryville High School, Isabella Saunders. Samuel Everett, Lila Campbell, and William Blunt, Katie Owens. Make sure I didn't miss any sports here that we've already got nominees for. Dance, bowling. We did cheerleading, right?
I don't remember.
I think we did. Yep, we did.
Okay.
We did cheerleading. We did golf. We did academics.
Yep, we did.
We didn't do cross country.
No, you're
So
right.
let's hit cross-country girls first. Alcoa's got Liley Bridges. Clayton Bradley has Mia Adkins. Heritage High School has A.J. Thomas. Maryville High School has Emma Roberts. And William Blunt has Cambria Reardon. From the boys' side, Alcoa's got Baker Brooks. Clayton Bradley with Lyle Webster. Eagleton has David Dando. Heritage High School has Landon Fotcher. Maryville has Alden Fox. I'm sorry, that's Maryville Christian has Alden Fox. Maryville High School has Tommy Babbitt. Samuel Everett has Austin Moeller. And William Blunt has Tanner Blair.
Cross country.
Yeah,
It's a great sport.
Let's see here. We did volleyball. I think volleyball was the last one that she posted. I know she still got more to post. There are more sports out there. There's the volunteers, all that stuff. It's going to be a great lineup of talent Wednesday night.
How many nominees for Team of the Year and then one of the new awards?
I haven't seen the Team of the Year yet. I think that Team of the Year is probably going to be one of those things that's voted on by you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure we're allowing any nominations for that. I think you guys are going to pick the Team of the Year. I know I have my personal favorite, but I'm going to keep that to myself and let you guys put that together. But I'm excited for the Volunteer of the Year, and I can't wait to see who wins Athletic Department of the Year and the $5,000 prize that goes with it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, if you were still going to continue
Well,
that.
yeah, I am. And Scott Cup won it in year 1, but he's really he's backslid.
He really is. He's quiet, isn't he?
He is not doing the videos he used to.
I mean, he's absolutely. You know, he's the quietest guy. Is he still working after we won? Or
you know, he is retiring.
He's retired.
Oh, he is.
Yep, he's just. I think June is his last
wow,
month.
I didn't know that. Well, congratulations to him.
Yeah.
Well,
After 14 years.
I think that what it was winning the Goatees AD of the year. I think was the crowning achievement of his personal, his career, his life in general.
What else can you do?
What else? You've already reached the mountaintop. You need to leave on top. Barry Sanders is teaching Scott Cup how to leave on top. So
he'll be a hard act to follow.
He will. Yeah, he's going to be a tough one. He did a lot of things for those athletes there at William Blount. And, I know that he was a little disappointed that Robbie dominated him last year and won it. I'm anxious to see who's going to win it this year. But I can tell you one thing: it's not going to be Scott Cup. He's got senioritis. He's just given up.
Yeah.
He's mailed it in.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about the awards that they will receive.
Yeah. So they're gonna receive. So here's the one thing: we're not doing Smokies tickets this year because the Smokies are no longer doing paper tickets. So if you go to a Smokies, have you guys been to a Smokies game yet?
Have not yet.
Okay, so you have to use your phone. So or that's how it's going to work. You can't. They're not printing out tickets unless you show up and buy one at the gate. So it's going to be harder for us to give away tickets, but we sure do appreciate all that Boyd Sports and Chris Allen's doing for us for the team of the year. But they're going to get a nice big trophy that's sponsored by one of our many sponsors here, which honestly, none of this happens without the sponsors I'm looking at behind Mike's head there. I mean, that really is all of those folks from Citadel Construction, Stevenson Tire, who I just went and had brand new tires put on at Stevenson Tire. They got me in quick, got me out quick, and it's perfect. Got the ride of my life.
I got you.
And they're going to rotate those tires for you.
They will.
Whenever you bring them back in there, and they're going to make sure they hold up, and they're going to take care of you.
Yep. It was service with a smile for sure. And obviously Blue Tick, what can we say about Blue Tick?
Our home.
Those guys giving us this space. They feed us every week. We've just got a great spot here, and they're one of our bigger sponsors. So we're just excited to have them as as always. And then Mandy Street, who came on a couple of years ago, she's been a great advocate for the sports awards. And last year we added Murphy's Bobcat. Rodney Murphy, he's just opened up his new the Tri-County Stone down there in Greenback, and we're also thankful to Anderson Lumber. They've been here forever, right? I mean, they're one of our longest running sponsors.
Roger L. Newman Heating and Cooling. They've been with us for several years.
Yep. I haven't had any heating and cooling since I came on here, but when I do, I'm certainly calling Roger.
I have. He's put an upper and a lower system in for me. Yeah, and comes back and checks on those every fall and every spring.
Yep.
I'm on their yearly maintenance program. I'm signed up on that, and they're always out there when they say they're going to be out there, and very prompt and do great work.
Sure they do.
So to answer your question, we're going to have the kids are going to come there. They're all going to get a lanyard and a nominee badge, so we can identify them as nominees, and then they're going to, once their name is called, they're going to have an opportunity to come up and thank their coaches and parents and whoever they want to thank. And then they'll get to come back and hang out with you guys.
Yeah, with their superhero shields.
Yes. And then after that, we're hopeful to have. We haven't picked our band that's going to be there yet, but we're hoping to have a drum line again because that was a lot of fun. But I know that Julie French is working for us right now, trying to get the Heritage High School cheerleaders to show up. They'd already turned in their uniforms for the end of the year, but she's going to try to make magic work. So we have some cheerleaders there to.
That's great.
To cheer
what about Bigfoot? Bigfoot going to be there?
He could be. If that's something that everybody wanted, he could be. He's big on sports, especially Blount County sports.
Well, if you don't want him out there, he can help us interview, can't he, Donnie?
Well, as you know, Bigfoot Jr. did leave Blount County and attend Spokane Community College, because they are the only college in America with the mascot of Sasquatch, and they offered him a huge NIL deal. So he's in his second year out there at Spokane, representing Blount County.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, since I've got you on the show here, what's going on at Goatees?
Baseball.
What are you involved in?
Baseball. Did you
talking
guys
about the Knoxville Smokies?
Yeah. Well, not just the
all
Knoxville
of minor
Smokies.
league baseball.
Yeah.
Fill our listeners in exactly
Well,
what you're doing there with.
Well, we
that.
have such a great staff, and Jeff Schoaf, who came to us a decade ago from the Tennessee Smokies, he was with them for 21 years, and he came to us 10 years ago, and he's really grown our baseball division, and we became one of just a handful of companies in the U.S. that are printing for all 120 minor league baseball teams. So right here in Little Blount County, we've got a great selection of minor league baseball. And I'm not sure if you guys know much about minor league baseball logos. They are fun.
They're the best.
If there's one thing they are, it's fun. And I got to tell you, I'm actually wearing one today. This is the Amarillo Sod Poodles, which is my current favorite logo set. They've got these little sod poodle. They're prairie dogs, and they've got them chewing like a little piece of wheat in their cowboy hat. And one of my favorite ones has 3 of them lined up. They're standing up and looking around. But we also got we felt like was our holy grail of teams if we could get in with. And that was the El Paso Chihuahuas, and we are now their premier T-shirt provider.
All right.
So
I love it.
we love Dave out there at El Paso, and we're doing a ton of stuff for them. But yeah, just lots of great, hilarious teams. You're welcome to come over to Goatees. We've got kind of a wall, our family of minor league baseball. It's on our wall there. You can see all the teams that we represent, and there's a lot of funny ones on there.
What's your favorite?
Well, I have to say I like the Chihuahuas, and now my current favorite logo set is the Amarillo Sod Poodles. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, but there's some of these team names. They're doing all these alternates now. Some of the ones that are out there are just really goofy, The Space Potatoes and the Las Vegas team just added the Belly Busters, and we're doing one for the Beloit Sky Carp. They're the Supper Clubbers. So it's we love the Sky Carp because we do the shirts for their mascot, and their mascot is Poopsie, and I guess it's like a Canadian goose or something. But Poopsie, you get Poopsie's face on the front, but when you look at the back of the shirt, it's got Poopsie dropping a little Poopsie, and the kids just love Poopsie pooping. So
that's great.
That's minor league baseball.
Hey, do hats too? You hats or just shirts?
So we do hats for the Appalachian League, but as far as major league and minor league baseball goes, that's a very small group that are allowed to do hats, and we don't do any hats.
What about the Savannah Bananas? Do you have anything to do with the Savannah Bananas?
Yeah, they're not part of minor league baseball. They're not a sanctioned team. They're an independent, and we've been at some shows that they've been at, and we hope to maybe do some of their stuff one day. But no, they're not part of minor league baseball.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a team that I've got to start getting some gear for. As a Braves fan, as our AA team changed from the Mississippi Braves to the Columbus Clingstones, so now they've got a little peach.
Yeah. Well, I know that Jeff Schoaf will take that as a personal challenge, and I'm not saying he doesn't already have that one. I haven't seen that yet. But the Rome just changed to the Emperors. Did you notice that?
Mm-hmm.
That was
cool.
a big change.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, the Braves used to have a lot of their farm systems named the Braves, and now they're changing it all up.
Because they realize that crazy names sell merch.
You better believe it.
So, I mean, one of the best ones that's out there right now are the Lehigh Iron Pigs, and so the players have shirts that just say "pigs" on it, and then their best-selling hat is just a black hat with a strip of bacon across it.
Yeah. Now, the Smokies. Do you have the apparel for the Smokies? Do you have?
Yeah, so we are the official provider for all the apparel for the Smokies. We've got 2 team stores there, the Goatees locker room that's inside of the stadium, one that's on the street facing it. But we've also got the new store that opened in Westtown Mall, which we're actually moving to a bigger location. So there'll be 3 Goatees locker rooms out there selling Smokies gear.
Yeah. Now, you've been at both stadiums. You've been up at the one that they had up at
Kodak.
Up at Kodak, and then you've been over here. Talk a little bit about how impressed you are with the new stadium.
If indeed you are.
If you are, yeah.
Yeah, I would say that that Kodak for us, having our kids grew up there, they worked there. I mean, Gracie May, who runs a stand there at the new stadium, she was 3 years old when she started going to Kodak, sleeping under a stand, and it was a whole family experience. We miss Kodak, and it's like it was like an old pair of shoes, and they were comfortable. It was like a warm hug. We loved Kodak, but let me tell you, this new stadium is awesome. It really is awesome. And there are a few things that people who are familiar with Kodak will notice when they walk in. The concourses are deeper, so the ability to move around and go where you want to go is much improved. It's much improved. Everything is state-of-the-art. We have the only Tennessee-shaped scoreboard in the world, and it's awesome.
That is great.
And Eris out there has done a great job making that the most of what you can do with the shape of Tennessee. But man, it's just iconic looking out there at it. Obviously the new everybody's about suites now. Tennessee, everybody's about suites. So the suites up there are really beautiful. I mean, everything is just top shelf. And let me tell you this: everybody's worried about parking. We have not seen one issue with parking, not one. And we take time to ask fans, hey, what do you guys think? How's your experience been? What's the parking like? Not one complaint about parking. So for people who are scared to go down there because they may not be able to find a spot, not true. Super easy. And the KUB shuttle, super easy. Park, they drive you straight to the door. You don't even have to wait 5 minutes, and when the game's over, you don't have to wait 5 minutes to get back to your car. It's super easy. And plus the team is playing well. They're putting a great product on the field. And it's just a lot of fun. A lot new food, a lot more food choices. It's a great experience.
And that's a multi-facility over there.
Yeah, it's multi-use
I saw there a
facility.
week or so ago where they changed it over to soccer.
Right, we were there.
That can't be an easy thing to do.
No, it's not. It's not. We were there last night for the one Knox game, and we're there again tonight. There's a girls' game there tonight with the one Knox. So yeah, it's amazing what Joe and the grounds crew do out there to get that field ready. It's a monumental task, and there's only 8 other stadiums in America doing that dual use, and they're one of 3 doing the lowering of the mound. So the mound goes down into the under, and they just put sod on it.
Into the caverns.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I went to the home opener, and
that was a good one.
It was a lot of fun, and like you said, I think one of the first things I noticed was the amount of concession food options. I love that because it gave us a lot of different things to choose from with Dad. And then whoever lives in those apartments has got it made if they've got a balcony view, just sitting out there and watching the game.
Yep.
But yeah, the stadium was awesome. Like you said, a lot more room to maneuver around, even with that big crowd. The stores were great, and then the food options as well. So we really enjoyed ourselves.
Yeah, lots of great food options, things that you didn't think you were going to find at a baseball game are there. And all the stuff that you think that you would find are there. So it's just it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Brian, are you aware of any special nights they've got coming
Holy
up?
crap, Mike! There's tons of them.
Well,
tons.
We would like for you to go over each one of those with us this morning if you could.
Well, actually, I should know those by heart, but I don't. Last weekend was Star Wars night, and it was rained out. It was their first rain out, which is kind of a bummer because Star Wars night is the biggest night of the year.
Well, they'll have to
without a
put
doubt.
that one back on for some time.
That's what I was saying. There should be just a remake.
Yeah, makeup date.
Right.
Yeah. Are there any new teams in the league or the same league as they've had in the past?
It's the Southern League. It's the very
new team.
The only thing that they have is sometimes there's movement with affiliates. But as far as the teams go, they did shut down Jackson a couple of years ago. But it's all the same teams: Chattanooga and the Biscuits, the
Montgomery,
Shuckers.
yeah.
Yep. And
The Clingstone.
The Clingstones are not. They are not part of.
Are they in another
Southern League?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're in a different league. And the Trash Pandas. That's what I was trying
Yeah,
to
Rocket City.
Yeah, Rocket City.
I've noticed, not to get on the Savannah Bananas again, but I'd really like to see them.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the
Well,
Savannah
you and about 48 other million people in
Yeah.
the United States.
Yes.
But you know,
I
a
wanna
lot.
go.
They're going to a lot of minor league parks. They were in. I think they were in Indianapolis last year. For
They were
maybe
in
a
Fenway.
three-game series up there in Indianapolis, sold out every night up there. I'm just wondering if there is any chance that we could see them over here in this new stadium.
I don't know. They were in Fenway. So I
Yeah.
mean they're selling
What do you
out.
think about that?
They
know,
put-
it's,
they
it's,
put
it's sort of
97,000.
like the Harlem
It is.
Globetrotters on the
It
baseball
is.
field. How do you feel
Well,
about that?
I mean,
Being
I
highly
think I think it's bringing baseball to a whole new group of folks. I think the things that they do, where you buy a ticket, all the food is free. I mean, I think that's bringing out families. I think they've done a great job of marketing. So yeah, I think if it brings sports to more people, that's always good. But you got to know it's the Harlem Globetrotters.
Donnie, it kind of
They put over 97,000 in Death Valley a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Out
Yeah.
in Clemson.
Yeah, I think
Filled that
when I
place
think
up.
of Savannah Bananas, and what they've done for baseball, I go back and Bill Veeck
Yeah,
probably
Bill Veeck.
he's probably just turning over in his grave thinking,
probably
man,
is.
why didn't I think
Yeah,
of that?
why didn't
I
I
thought
think of
of
that?
everything else. You know,
Yeah.
why couldn't I have done that? You know?
There's a great documentary about him on
Yeah, I've
on
seen
one of
that.
the streaming.
I've
Great,
seen that.
great documentary.
Yeah,
Great
some of the
documentary.
things that he did was
Yes.
outstanding, and some of them just
Outside the box.
just kind of blew up in his face.
Right.
if you know what I'm talking about.
But you got to try it.
Yeah,
Like
you gotta
sending
try it.
Wee Willie Keeler to the plate.
Yeah, but the Savannah Bananas, it seems like they get more popular and more popular every year. You know, you would think, well, it might wear off. You know, kind of a novelty deal, but
Yeah.
they just keep moving forward.
Keep packing them
and
in.
the owner's so enthusiastic about it, and he's fan friendly. That makes a lot of difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think the awesome thing about it is it's customer centric, and he really focuses on making that fan experience the best part of the game. And so they've done a lot with the Savannah Bananas. And one of the things I found fascinating is, so we go to on an annual beach trip out to Tybee Island every year in the
Great
summer.
place.
And so we always visit and spend some time in Savannah while we're there. It's not too far away. And one time we went over to the stadium just to check it out, and it was on an off day. And we went to see if the team store was open, and it was. And while we were there, they said, "Hey, do you want to go check out the field?" And we were like, "Yeah, absolutely." And they walked us out in the field. They told us it's a public park, so when they're not playing, you can literally go out there with your friends and play catch on the field itself. So I was like, man, I've got to get my dad out here to Savannah and go play catch with him sometime on the field.
I don't know. I saw a documentary on that. It's like if you got a gimmick, you got a chance to be on the team. You know, Brian, you still got a chance. If you got a gimmick, or Donnie, you got a gimmick. You got something you can do. There's hope for you. But you hear the Savannah Bananas, but the party animals are all right too.
They
the
sure
team,
are.
The team they play. So.
Sure are.
Are we ready to get out of here? Don't blow that whistle yet. I want to thank
we're ready.
Heath Dunkel for coming in
Yes,
this morning. Great to have you. And Brian, great to have you in here this morning.
Good
and
to be here.
we'll be there Wednesday night and hope everything goes well. And
Yes, sir.
it's going to be exciting. And Donnie Moore, I'll see you Wednesday.
You better
See
believe
you
it.
Wednesday
You
and next
sure
week.
will.
Yeah. Blow the whistle. It's been a great
All
day.
right, my friend.
Yeah. Hey, that'll do it for today's edition of the Goatee Sports Page. Thanks to Aaron Ishmael back at Loud Media, our host of Blue Tick Tavern, and all our sponsors. For Donnie Moore, Brian Johnston, Heath Dunkel, until next Saturday, this is Mike Edwards, the Greenfield Gunner, wishing everyone good sports.
And that's the final whistle. Join us again next Saturday for the Goatee Sports Page. The best in local sports since 1978.